My dear students of second year, I am Raghvendra Pratap, and again I am here with some content of fifth unit. So please focus and go through this properly. One thing more, all of you must be taking care of yourself and your family member. Please do the same regularly because still all of us are in danger. Okay, so please take care. So let's start with the rest content of this unit. The first content which we will discuss here in this video, that is speech organs and their function. In our previous video, we understood the mechanism of speech. In this video, we will understand the organs, means the speech organs which are responsible to produce the sound which are required depending on the different languages and their need. Okay, so functions of brain with respect to the language at different levels, we have already discussed this in the mechanism of speech. Still we will focus still we will go through these again. First, at the first level, brain develops an idea, we know that, and we understood this with the help of a graph as well, where 6 different steps were there. So brain develops an idea with its experience and knowledge. With the experience which brain has, the knowledge which brain has, with a combination of experience and knowledge, brain develops an idea. Then it brings the origin of language in an abstract form, means brain is responsible to bring the language into an abstract form which carry its idea. Then the abstract form of a language brought forward in a concrete form through different body organs which receives message from brain. The third step, means the third level, where the abstract form of a language comes in a concrete form. Abstract form means where the shapeless form of a language comes in a concrete form with the help of different body organs, and these organs helps us to convert that sound which these receive from the brain. So this is the third level. And the fourth level, these body organs produce spoken language or speech organs, means these organs, the organs which helps to produce the sound, again I am highlighting the organs which helps to produce the sounds of a language, the spoken language, that is speech organs. So we will understand these all. So these speech organs are called articulator. Very much clearly I am highlighting again, these all speech organs which helps us to produce the respective sound of a language are called articulator, and in which these are arranged, means where these all articulators are arranged, that system is called articulator system. Okay, very much simple this thing is. So let's go ahead to understand articulatory system. Articulatory system is all about the system in which different organs are the part. Okay, so one by one we'll understand those all different organs. The first one is lips. There isn't any need to make anyone of you aware what lips are. Lips include upper lip and lower lip. These serves to produce different sounds of different languages. Do not focus on English. Yes, these lips are responsible to produce different sounds in different languages. Then the second articulator organ, that is teeth. The small whitish structure found in the jaws in the front of the mouth are responsible to create sounds. Teeth too are responsible. Here I would love to give an example. Some of you must have seen the old people where they don't have teeth in the mouth. You people must have noticed the different pronunciation of some words which they pronounce. Yes or no? That is because they are trying to produce, they try to produce sounds of that language without having teeth in their mouth. That's why it looks different to our ears. So teeth two are responsible to produce sounds and are articulator organs. Alveolar ridge. What this is, I'm sure most of you are hearing this part as the first time, but all of you know what this is. Alveolar ridge is the part which comes in between the upper palate and the teeth. Alveolar ridge is basically hard ridge, means that hard ridge behind the upper teeth. It is between the roof of the mouth and the upper teeth. The thing which I said, the the part which is in between the teeth, upper teeth, and the palate, hard palate. This is all about alveolar ridge. You can call it the hard part of the gums. Is it clear what I said? Gums are those parts which helps us to grab, to to stick with the teeth. Just after the gums, the part which comes, again I'm highlighting the just after the gums, which part comes, that is alveolar ridge. That is the root, actually the root of teeth and the end part of upper palate. Okay, so alveolar ridge. The next part is hard palate. Hard palate is the thin horizontal bony plate of the skull. Yes, this is very much hard, but it looks quite smooth when we take our tongue there. So it is located in the roof of the mouth at the very much top. It is often called the roof of the mouth. Its mouth covered surface can be felt with the tongue. A Hindi word which must be known to every one of you. I do expect this. If this is not known to you, please go and consult your parents. They must know about this. The Hindi name of this thing is talua. Is it clear what I said? Hard palate is talua, which you have at the top of your mouth. At the top of your mouth means the hard round surface which you have, which is a bit hard but soft with the skin. That is hard palate. Let's move ahead to the next one. Velum. Velum is the soft palate, means the part when you open your mouth and the part which comes out and goes back. Is it clear what I said? The part which comes out and goes back, which vibrates is actually velum, and it is called in linguistic as soft palate. So velum or the soft palate is in the position that follows air pass through the nose and through the mouth. Means this velum is responsible to pass the air, to allow the air through nose nasal cavity or through oral cavity. Okay, so its main function, the same is written here. Its main function is to separate the nasal cavity from the oral cavity in order to produce the oral speech sound. So this is velum. Please open your mouth in front of a mirror and see what part is coming out and goes back. That starts exactly at the end of your hard palate. When your hard palate, where your hard palate ends, soft palate comes in picture. Okay. Next one is uvula. Uvula. What this uvula is, actually this is a hanging ball which you see when you open your mouth. So hanging ball's full name is palatine uvula. That is the hanging ball which you see in your mouth, referring to its location on the soft palate. It is placed on the soft palate to move. That is uvula. This too is very much important to produce the sounds. Next one is glottis. What glottis is, the combination of vocal cord and space in between the folds is known as glottis. Means this is the combination of vocal folds. Vocal folds means vocal cord, and the space between the folds, the space between the vocal cord, that is known as glottis. And as the vocal cords vibrate, the resulting vibration produces a buzzing quality of speech called voice or voicing. Glottis is responsible to that sound. Next one is tongue, and there isn't any need to let anyone of you know about the value of tongue to produce the sound, but one thing which is not known by everyone. The thing is, tongue is responsible to produce almost maximum sound, but the different parts of tongue are responsible to produce different sounds of English language, and is responsible to produce the sounds of other languages as well. And those parts are the tip of the tongue, the blade of the tongue, the front of the tongue, the back of the tongue, and the root of the tongue. So play these parts differently play their role to produce different sounds. The tongue is the very important articulator, and it can be moved into many different places and different shapes. Its movement in oral cavity plays important part in production of almost every speech sound. This is very much important, as I said earlier as well. So the tip of tongue is important. The blade of tongue is responsible to produce different sound. The front of the tongue is responsible to produce different sound. Back of the tongue is responsible to produce some other sound. And root means where tongue ends. That too is important to produce some sounds. Okay. So parts other than the articulator organs. There are some parts which are very much important to produce the sound other than the articulator organs. What those all are? The first one is lungs. It is impossible to ignore the value of lungs in producing the sounds, and these lungs are commonly responsible to produce sounds in as an indirect factor of that process. So articulator organs play with the air. The organs which we have mouth, or which we discussed on the previous slide, those all organs use air in such a way so that we can sound differently, and the air which comes with which they play is produced, is supplied by the lungs. So articulatory organs play with the air to produce speech sound of a language, and this air is supplied to them by the lungs. So lungs are very much important. Next one is larynx. What larynx is? The first point where it is possibly to modify the air stream is at the top of the windpipe. Means it is at the top of the windpipe, and it is the point which is very much responsible to modify the air stream. Modify the air stream means to change the air stream as you want, as you want to produce different sounds. It's up to you. So larynx, the air has to come out through the windpipe and in larynx. So it is a process. Inside the larynx, the lip-like structure is called vocal cord, which are placed horizontally. Vocal cord is placed in the same near the same organ. Okay, so where I was, okay, which are placed horizontally. And the last one is, we already discussed about glottis. The opening or space between the cord is called the glottis. Okay, the next one is nasal cavity. What nasal cavity means? Which is given as a free space for the exhaling air for the nose or from the nose. So in nasal sound, the velum is lowered to allow air through the nasal cavity. Velum means the soft palate. Yes, which we discussed. The soft palate. When velum is lowered, air goes through the nasal cavity. So these were the few different organs other than the articulatory organs. Okay, let's understand two different concepts of sounds, which is voiceless and voiced. Consider to be as voiceless sounds and voice sound. What these are, and the reason to name a voiceless or voice sounds because of glottis. So understand this. The sounds produced with a wide opening glottis means when the glottis is very much open, that is voiceless sound. But when that is contracted means the glottis, when glottis or vocal cord is contracted, the sound is voiced. The same is written here. The sound produced with a wide opening glottis are called voiceless sound, and the sound produced with a contraction of vocal cord and it vibrates during the air passes are voiced sound. This is the difference between voiceless sound and voiced sound. The next part, which too is important to know, that is valeric closure and valeric opening. So what valeric, extremely sorry to pronounce this incorrectly, that is valeric closure and valeric opening. What valeric closure and valeric opening? The soft palate acts like a valve in opening and closing the nasal passage of air. Okay, when it close the pass, we call it, when it close to pass, we call it valeric closure, and when it opens the passes, we call it valeric opening. This is all about valeric closure and opening. The next part is linguistic. This is purely theoretical part, and what linguistic is actually, linguistic is present with every language. There is a linguistic of every different language. So what linguistic is, it is the study of language. The basic study of language is actually linguistic, and more to this, a scientific study of a language. When you are studying scientifically, when you are studying a language scientifically, then it is called linguistic of that language. Okay, so linguistic, there are some different linguistic levels. Okay, so these levels are three. The first one is phonology, second one is morphology, and the third one is syntax. These are the different levels of linguistic. One by one we will go through these all. First one is phonology. What phonology? It refers to phonemics and phonetics. Phonology is the combination of phonemics, this one, phonemics and phonetics. And do not get confused about this phonemics and phonetics. This is written here. What phonemics is, the study of sound system of a language. Means the sound system of a language is the part of phonemics, but the study of physical property of sound, the physical property of sound of a language is phonetic. So with the combination of these two, when you study these two, it becomes the part of phonology. Next one is morphology. What morphology is? Study of the rules of forming admissible words. Admissible words means where people allow some words to be formed. That is the part of morphology. Study of rules for forming, means to form admissible words. That is morphology. The admissible arrangement of sounds in words. This too can be referred as. Okay, it's up to you how you want to form this to define. The third one is syntax, and I'm sure in your 10th or 12th this was the part of a grammar. Okay, so what syntax is? The grammatical arrangement of words in a sentence. When you arrange words grammatically fit, when you arrange, again I'm saying, when you arrange words grammatically fit in a sentence, that is syntax. Okay, in other words, a systematic order arrangements of words in a language is called syntax. So these are the three different levels. These are the three different levels of what? Three different levels of linguistic, as phonology, as morphology and syntax. Let's move ahead to understand next one, the phonetic. A bit more deep understanding is written here. Phonology, look at here. Phonology is the part of phonemics and phonetic. So phonetic is written here, is given here to know a bit more. Phonetic is the science of human speech sound. Human speech sound is a science actually related to this phonetics. So it deals with the pronunciation. It deals with the pronunciation and representation. Pronunciation of the sounds and representation of the words and sounds. This is about the field which is dealt in phonetics. Okay, and it requires to study anatomy, neurology and pathology of speech. This is all about the phonetics. Means anatomy means the structure of organs, neurology the work of nerves, and the last part pathology. These three comes in picture to study phonetics. Okay, next one is, the next topic is branches of phonetics. What are the different, do we have different branches of phonetics? Yes, the answer is yes, we have different branches of phonetics. The first one is acoustic phonetic, second one is auditory phonetics, and the third one is articulatory phonetics. There are three different branches of phonetics. The first one is acoustic. Understand this: physical properties of speech sound is the first branch of phonetics as acoustic, where physical properties of speech sounds are studied. Okay, articulatory, auditory phonetics, in which hearing and perception of speech sounds comes in picture, means where the study of hearing and perception of speech sound, that is the another branch, means second branch of phonetic as auditory phonetics. And the last one is articulatory phonetics, where it includes the study of some kinds of sound making apparatus, means the parts which are responsible to produce sound. We study that in this branch. Okay, so these are the three different branches of phonetics. Let's move ahead to the next one. This is phoneme. Another thing which is important to know, what phoneme is actually. This word must be like very much new to all of you, most of you actually, but the thing which are related to this phoneme are not unknown to none of you. I'm deadly sure about this, means this word is almost very much new to all of you, but the things which comes in it, the content, the ingredients which are the part of this one phoneme are not new to you. So all the languages have large number of different sound segments. We know that all the languages are different sound system. Yes, so in English and in other languages as well, that is the combination of vowels and consonants. What I said, all of you do know vowels and consonants. So this is the combination which comes as a part of phoneme. Okay, so these sound segments of language are known as phoneme. Again I am saying the sound segments of language. These sound segments means the sound segments of vowels, sound segments of consonants of a language are known as phoneme. It is one of the small set of speech sound that are distinguished by the speaker of a particular language. It is considered to be the smallest set of speech sound which is distinguished by the speaker of that language. Okay, and very renowned name of this field means of phonetics, Daniel Jones. He says something about a phoneme may be described roughly as a family of a sound. Is it clear what I said? The family of a sound or a family of a sound is given. This term is given by Daniel Jones, which consists of an important sound of a language. This is a family of a sound which is given by Daniel Jones. The next thing which too is very much important to know as phoneme, that is alphone. What alphone is actually? Alphone is an alternative sound for a letter or group of letters. Again I am highlighting, alphone is an alternative sound. Alternative means another sound. Alphone is alternative means another sound for a letter or for a group of letter, where another sound, similar sound, which represent the same, which represent to a sound exactly like same, that is alphone. The same is briefed here. Let's move ahead to know the next one, syllable. What syllable is actually? This is a combination. This is a combination of what? This is a combination of either vowel or vowel and consonant. Let's understand the definition. A unit of spoken language rather than a phoneme means the unit of sound which is a bit larger than the phoneme, which we understood here, phoneme. Larger than phoneme, that is syllable. A unit of spoken language larger than a phoneme is syllable, or in other words, a unit of pronunciation. Unit of pronunciation having one vowel sound which are said with or without surrounding consonants, means when a vowel sound is used, only vowel sound is used, that is syllable, or when a combination of vowel sound and consonant sound is used, that is syllable. Okay, and this sound comes as a part of a word. The same is forming the whole or the part of a word, that is syllable. So I think this is very much clear to all. Next topic is composition of syllable, vowel and consonants. We are going to understand the combination. We are going to understand the composition. Composition means the connection, the mixture. What we should say, the mixture of syllable, vowel and consonant. The mixture of vowel and consonant. As we know, a syllable consists of one or a more speech sound. Syllable is one or more speech sound. Yes or no? Yes. Next one is syllables are made of vowel and consonant. We know that. We understood. Either vowel, only look at the cursor where I'm moving, one vowel sound, or a combination with or without consonant. Okay. So syllables are made of vowel and consonant. If a syllable consists of just one sound, it is usually a vowel. What we do call that? If that is just one sound, it is considered to be as vowel. But if a syllable has more than one speech sound, one of them will be a vowel and the rest will be consonants. Is it clear? This is just the composition of syllable. In composition of syllable means mixture of syllable of vowel and consonants. Next one is phonetic transcription. What is phonetic transcription? Phonetic transcription is all about something, the symbols which we use. General language I am using here to make you understand what phonetic transcription is. The symbols which you use to represent the sounds. The same is written here. Representing sound in some specific symbol or sign in phonetic transcription means few symbols or few signs which represents a particular sound of a language. That is phonetic transcription. So use of phonetic transcription is all about to make the sound very much clear to the non-native speaker of a language. Means how to make known to a speaker of different language about the sound. That is phonetic transcription. With the help of that sign or symbol, the speaker of other languages can understand what the symbol represents and how to give a stress to produce that kind of sound. Okay. And the another use of phonetic transcription, uplift the level of a person of a different region with respect to its related sounds. This is the second use of phonetic transcription, to uplift the level of a person of a different region which is not from that native area of that language with respect to the related sound. Okay, so these two were the use of phonetic transcription. The next heading comes as next content comes as description of speech sound. Description of speech sound. Speech sounds are made with speech organs, we know that, with a certain movements and air mechanism, which we understand on the very much first video of this unit. Yes or no? So speech sounds are made with speech organs with a certain movement and air mechanism. We categorize them as vowels and consonants. Yes or no? So categories are given to those sounds as vowels and consonants in English languages. In English language. Yes or no? Okay. So the further description of description of consonants. Consonant sounds are produced as per the following ways. We are going through the different procedure, the procedure which helps us to give consonant sounds. Again, I am highlighting, we are going through the procedure which gives us the consonant sounds differently. These processes are 5. The first one is airstream mechanism. The second one is the state of glottis. The third one is the position of soft palate. The fourth one is the place of articulation, and the fifth one is the manner of articulation. These 5 different procedures are responsible to give us the consonant sounds. Okay, one by one we will go through these all. The airstream mechanism, the first one is what this mechanism is, where we get the consonant sounds, where the sound is produced with a pneumonic aggressive airstream mechanism. Is it clear what I said? This is airstream mechanism where the sound is produced with a pneumonic aggressive airstream mechanism, that is lungs. Okay. Second one is the state of glottis. When the vocal cord is wide apart, the glottis is open. Means here glottis play important role. Okay. The third one is the position of soft palate. When the soft palate is raised, it shuts off the nasal passage. When the palate is raised, It never allows the air to go through nasal passage. Thus, the air passes through mouth only, and this is actually the procedure. One procedure. The fourth one is the place of articulation, and the fifth one is the manner of articulation, which we will understand with slide number 24 and slide number 25. Let's move ahead. The first one is place of articulation, and second one is manner of articulation. So, place of articulation. Place of articulation, that is bilabial, labiodental, dental, alveolar, post-alveolar, palato-alveolar, palatal, velar, and glottal. These are the place of articulation. So, one by one we will understand these all. Bilabial, articulated by two lips only. Okay, the procedure is the place of articulation. These are divided into two different categories: the place of articulation and the procedure which is followed. Okay, bilabial, articulated by the two lips. Labiodental, articulated by the lower lip against upper teeth. Dental, articulated by tip of the tongue against upper teeth. Alveolar, articulated by the blade of the tongue against the teeth ridge. Post-alveolar, tip of the tongue against the back of the teeth ridge. Plato-alveolar, blade of the tongue against the teeth ridge with the front of the tongue raised towards the hard palate. This is plato-alveolar. They say these are, which I'm explaining here, these are the place of articulation and the procedure which comes in picture. Is it clear what I said? The place of articulation and the procedure which comes in picture, giving us some certain sounds. Palato-alveolar, blade of the tongue against the teeth ridge with the front of the tongue raised towards the hard palate. Palatal, front of the tongue against the hard palate. Velar, the back of the tongue against the soft palate. And the last one is glottal. Produced by an obstruction between the vocal cord. The obstruction which comes in the vocal cord, this procedure comes in picture. So these are few places of articulation and the procedure which comes in picture with some specific sound. Like for bilabial, these sounds comes because of the articulation of lips. The sounds are given here as examples, like for this f and a v, for this teeth and a dan, as t, d, t, d, s, z, n, l. This is r. So please go through these all sounds. Next one is manner of articulation. So we will cover this much of only in this video. So what manner is? Plosive manner, there are different 9 types of manner we have, and the different procedure which we get as. So manner as plosive, manner as affricates, manner as nasal. Look at the cursor. Manner as plosive, affricates, nasal, roll, flap, lateral, fricative, frictionless, continent, and semivocal. So these all are responsible to give some procedure as plosive. Complete closure of the air passage. Complete closure of the air passage and released with explosion. Okay, that is plosive manner. Affricates manner, complete closure of air passage in the mouth with a separation of organs. Air comes out with friction. Nasal, the sounds too are given here as p, b, t, d, k, g. Affricates as ch and j. Nasal, produced by the closure in the mouth and open in nasal passage. That is m, n, ng. Next one is, fourth one is as manner roll, produced with a stricture of intermittent closure, where tip of the tongue touches ridge of the teeth many times. Okay, this is the word is written here incorrectly. Okay, misspelled here. Next one is the as a manner flap. Here tip of the tongue touches the this must be touches the ridge once only, that is flap. Lateral manner, complete closure in the central of the vocal tract and later air release without friction. Fricative, narrow passage for the air between two organs and friction is produced as fricative manner. And the last one is frictionless continuant. Frictionless continuant means no closure or friction. And the last one is semi-vocal. A vocal glide with a consonant friction. So these are the manner and the procedure of these all manners. Okay, so we have gone through we have gone through with the different air we have gone through the description of consonants as the air stream mechanism, the state of glottis, the position of the soft palate, place of articulation, and manner of articulation. So this is the end of this video. We will cover the rest all content in the next video, and hopefully that will be the last to cover the all rest content of unit 5. So till then, bye bye, take care.